Is it me or did somebody hear one of the characters call one of these creatures a bitch?
Oh,
did you hear that?
Yes, Pedro Pascal does when he's doing his he's doing the Toro thing with the red flag.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he says bitch.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute.
I wasn't sure I heard that, but I did hear it.
Yeah, you heard it.
It's like, I like the way we all thought, like, okay, I ain't gonna say shit until somebody else does. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Now, what movie do y'all want to start with first? I'm going to just ask the audience. What do you think? The audience being you. What movie would you like to do first?
It don't matter what we tell them. Go ahead. Whatever you got queued up.
No, give me one, man. We'll start with it. Seriously, I'll bring it up. Which one you want to do first? Go ahead.
Fist fight.
Great Wall is what I got queued up right now. You might have said the Great Wall and been right, but that's what I have queued up.
A 1 in 3 chance of getting that right.
You're not a gambling man, sir?
Not with those odds.
Oh, let's see. You bet on black and you lost. Thought Ice Cube was going to be up there. No, we going with them Chinese, man. And that white boy. What's it? Matt Damon. Matt Damon, man. Everybody talking about, oh, man, this is going to be epic right here. What's about to happen. See, there's a lot of firsts that goes on in this movie, The Great Wall. What I'm going to do is, though, we're going to watch the trailer. Because what you have here, it is some epic stuff going on, man. You know, Matt Damon. You mean he went from being like just a simple Boston kid on the street, end up being a genius, then start whooping people's ass as a super spy. Now he's out there kicking dragons' ass, man.
He beat all the spies. Now dragons are next.
He like, yeah. Now who wants some of this? I do. All right, then.
The natural progression.
No, let me come over there. But apparently the Great Wall got a dragon pest problem or something. Yeah.
I'll beat you and your whole family.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, your whole family shit.
Yeah, man. These dragons, I mean, it really is like some roach shit going on. And they like, we need an exterminator. And Matt Damon said, well, here I am to get the job done. This is a first for Matt Damon to go over there and be hanging out with these Chinese people doing something in a movie where it's an all Chinese production. I'll tell you about that in a little bit, but he is playing a guy named William. William is sort of a fighter for hire. He just travels the land with his Spanish sidekick, and they're mercenaries. They just fight for themselves. And then they happen to just end up on the wrong wall at the wrong time when these people really do have somewhat of a dragon demon infestation problem. And
it's only every 60 years, and they happen to land right on that 60th.
Right on that 60th anniversary, man, when the demons attack. Because that's what we're saying at dragons, but they're kind of demons, the evil spirits, revenge type creatures of some kind.
No, they're just dragons.
I'll tell you a little bit.
Lizards. They're like lizards.
Yeah. And I'll explain what I'm saying a little bit, but Matt Damon says, well, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll stay and help you guys because y'all won't let me leave. So let's go ahead and y'all say that sounds crazy. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer right here, and we'll elaborate after this. I still say I was wrong. That lizard was sitting up there for like 30 minutes. Like, shh, watch this.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, because there's hundreds of them down there. And I'm like, shh.
Yeah. And he's like, watch what I do this motherfucker right here.
Surprise, bitch.
Yeah, like he laughing too and everything. That bitch just see that coming. Look. Fuck your family. Oh, people, and here's the thing. Legendary is the one that made this movie, and they said, you know what, this is going to be epic right here because, as I told you, this is a first for a lot of things. This is a first for Matt Damon to be doing a production like this where it's mostly all of a Chinese production, but this is also from Legendary East. Legendary East is the Hong Kong division of the company, and they are, they're in a collaboration with Hollywood, so they can, of course, take advantage of that Chinese audience that Hollywood's so crazy about. Plus, they get around this whole thing where I guess China, I'm not sure, they have a quota on how many foreign films go there.
It's about 25. They may have upped it to 50 now.
Yeah. Unless you're 3D, then you don't count it.
Yeah. And then, but Chinese said, but I got my man Legend back here, and they say different about it. So this is a way for them to release more movies over there with American actors and get more money. And the and everybody's excited about that, especially this, because they said, man, we're going to live up to our name. We're going to be legendary with this because we got a $135 million blockbuster right here. We working with the director of Hero. This will be his first English-speaking film. Matt Damon's first time being in here doing this. We got legendary special effects, legendary actors in here from China. And somebody said, yeah, but what about that legendary script? And I'm like, fuck. Damn, I know I left something at home. One of us in the car. So, I mean, I'm only speaking for myself, but man, I'm gonna tell you something. This is something where it's not only because of the director. Like, do you remember the director's name from Hero?
Zhang Yimou.
Yeah, okay. So what'd you just say?
That's his name. Zhang Yimou.
That's how you pronounce it.
All right.
He speaks Chinese.
Okay.
I'm gonna take his word for it.
It's hard to argue with.
Now in English.
Johnny Moore.
Yeah, that's more like it, man.
Just based on the fact that he lived there means he can say whatever he wants and we can't contradict it.
I know. I know. I
I
thought
lizards all the time.
Yeah.
It was a hustle.
thought you were swallowing your tongue. Just yes, I am. But this right here, man. Okay. This is where they're trying. This takes place in a fantasy China.
Yes.
What the fuck? Just blew my chair. This takes place in a fantasy China. I mean, this is something where it's so much of a fantasy that it's insane. It's a comic book. It's an anime.
Yeah, it's an anime.
Yeah.
It's pretty much here's the deal. If you really want to know how to put this movie to somebody or how to sell it to somebody, they took Power Rangers, combined it with aliens and World War Z, and put it in China.
You left out one big influence with the Starship Troopers, because that was the whole time I was watching this. I was like, "Wow, this is Starship Troopers in China."
See, that's where the World War Z comes in for me.
I also saw some Attack on Titan here.
Yeah,
the wall. Yeah,
as you can see,
and those rigs they had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
flying wires.
Oh, yeah.
Bungee jumping with the spears and stuff.
That is why that is pretty much why we're sitting up here saying that this is a comic book, because you see all these influences there, and it's so much of a comic book and an anime that Matt Damon, he's a comic book character. He's pretty much if you see him with what he does with the arrows right here, you saw that in the trailer. He's doing shit that even Hawkeye be like, what the fuck, man?
he cheating.
I know he's cheating. Hawkeye be like, you trying to take my fucking job?
Yes.
Matt Damon, he's doing shit with arrows that even Legolas from Lord of the Rings would be like, what the fuck, man? You can't do that shit. Even I can't do that shit. But that's okay.
Yeah, you gotta let him have that.
Because I'm not complaining about it, because it's a comic book anime movie. That is not my problem with it. This movie, if anybody's seen Hero, I know the director has done more things, but if anybody's seen Hero, you know that movie was known for its colors. And this movie right here is the same way. I mean, I looked at this and I thought at first, I said, I don't know if this will go well with this being a, sort of a monster sci-fi comic book movie with all this death and destruction going on. But hey, man, the cinematography, it fit right in. In fact, it added more to the allure of this being a comic book kind of film. What's that?
Well, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead.
just what you're saying, like the colors, the scenery. I was really impressed with the costumes. The costumes are probably my favorite part of this movie.
Oh, the costumes are mine too, man. That's a great point. I love these soldiers that they have in here. These soldiers, man, they're every flavor of Kool-Aid out there.
Yeah.
This is a Chinese Power Ranger.
Yeah, it's a Power
really
Rangers
is.
movie. That's why I said I was thirsty watching this shit, man.
I think it has those characters, because I didn't know about this, who directed this while I was before I went into it. So while I was watching, I was like, wow, this looks a lot like Heroes, Curse of the Golden Flower, House of a Thousand Daggers, and I was like, wow, this looks really good. But the whole time watching it, it was just so grayed out at sometimes, and it felt like they were fighting in a smudge.
Okay.
And I know we saw this in 3D, which goes to add to why it probably looked like that.
Yeah.
So when things did pop up and there were colors, like when they showed the blue chicks flying, or they showed them sitting at the table, it was cool, but it was still so much smoke and gray in there, and I think that was it was probably because of budgetary constraints, just to make CG look better.
No,
or something like that.
I'm telling you, it's completely because we were wearing 3D glasses. and we were at a theater where they haven't changed their bulbs out in forever.
Okay.
That theater in particular, it's always been notorious for keeping old bulbs that are dim.
Yeah.
And so it's bad enough when you watch a regular movie. When you put those 3D glasses on, because I would take mine off every so often and go like, God damn it, man. Why y'all doing this?
I was doing that constantly, taking them on and off because it was like watching a loud ass smudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got to a point where it was just better watching the movie in double vision instead of keeping those 3D glasses on. I'm telling y'all, 3D fucks up a lot of movies. Y'all don't even know.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, we're talking about it, and we had this one scene right here where showing those rainbow colors come in behind them. I didn't even notice that when we watched the movie.
Yeah, when you showed all those warriors standing there with all the different colors, all I saw was red and blue, and the others, I was like,
Same here.
Colorblind.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a lot of vibrance in this movie, and them 3D glasses is just smudging that shit up.
Yeah.
3D glasses is just wiping its ass with this movie, man.
It really is.
Well, it's like I feel like there's something there, and like I said, I felt like the director was the same director because of the color, but like I was like, it's so smudged up. I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, watch it at home because I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why I'm saying that it had everything going for it, but the script, this is they do all this glorious stuff in this, man. They put all this money on this. They do all this great cinematography, and yet when you pull all that shit aside, it's a plain monster movie. It is a creature feature. You know, and I look at this and I think that's not bad. A monster film is not bad. I don't think it needs this much effort for a plain monster film like this because it's just monsters attacking. And that's not bad. Again, it's okay. But usually when you have a plain monster plot like this, you have other things going on, like some great character development. You have some other storyline that's great going on. Everything that, this movie does not have. Because I don't think these characters in this movie are that great at all. Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal, they're supposed to be, it's a buddy flick. It's a road, it's like a road movie.
Right.
And they just happen to just, travel to the wrong fucking place.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't just happen to travel there. They're trying to get gunpowder.
Well, what I mean, but just the timing was bad.
Yeah.
Well, they would have been fucked anyway. Actually, those creatures did them a favor.
Yeah, they really did, actually.
They would have just been executed and done with it.
Almost like, you fighting me, but I would have been your ass.
I get the impression watching this that a lot of the problem with it, and everybody's going to shout racism, but is that it's Chinese, in as much as a lot of things that we're used to seeing action movies and having a lot of good character development in there. And this reminds me of a lot of Asian films I'll see that people will praise, and I go like, well, it's because it's in a foreign language, so you're giving it extra, a little boost where it doesn't have that here. But also the CG, it's not that great.
No.
So CG's not that great, but also it being Chinese. What I mean by that is that I get the impression from this it's a longer cut because there's plenty of moments in here between the two main characters, Matt Damon and what's his name,
Pedro Pascal,
where they have those moments of camaraderie and they make jokes and they're actually funny. And you're like, man, what you just did right there? Keep doing that. But it cuts away from it so much, and it gave me the impression that this in China is probably a 3-hour movie that they cut down for us, and it leaves out a lot of places. There's even some explanation of things where I'm like, hey, you need to talk more about that, and that should be explained, and they don't do it.
And it may be true, but this did not do well over in China because that's what they were really hoping for.
I was hearing how it was doing phenomenal.
No, this is one of the things where they were saying, this whole business plan that we have of doing stuff for America and China ain't working this time.
Yeah, when they tend to throw like a lot of money at movies and make these big epics in China, they tend to fail because I don't know what it is. I forgot what there was another one that came out a long time ago. It was one of those big epic kung fu movies. That was kind of like House of a Thousand Daggers or Curse of the Golden Flower, and they put all this money into it, and then Chinese people were like, this shit is whack, we don't want to watch this, and so they're probably getting the same thing.
With this it's like, this is the one that were like, well, fuck, that didn't work. And here's the thing about it. First of all, before I even get into the characters, because it's not that I hate these characters, I will tell you what I mean in a little bit, but these creatures, man, there's not anything going on with them, but they attack. That's it. And on top of that, when they try to explain them, I'd rather just have them attack with no explanation because the explanation for them is kind of stupid because first of all, they do this big explanation for them by doing a presentation using the pre-rendered CG models of the creatures.
That's
right. And it's like, man, you ain't fooling nobody, man. You pull that shit right out the computer and put that shit up there because they were trying to make it look like it's on a Chinese drawing paper. And it's like, no, man, you cheaping out. You ran out of money. You just put one of the pre-rendered creatures on there. And on top of that, it's just stupid when they try to explain it, because that's what I mean by we don't know if they're supernatural, because they say a comet came down.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's aliens and they're just explaining it because it's ancient China. And they say that they're there for revenge, so they only attack every 60 years. And it's like, well, that's cool. Why? Because
like you said, you don't know if they're aliens or like the meteorite changed them into like they're just regular lizards that got big. So
that's it.
You're like, okay, what's your motivation?
And it's like, well, why? No, really, why are they taking like every 60 years to attack? I don't know, fucking lunch break. I don't know.
They get tired.
And they keep talking about that they're getting smarter, but they don't really do anything that intelligent. There's one scene where they set a trap, but it's like a Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah,
so they're velociraptors.
Pretty much.
And if they were getting that smart, they would keep attacking. They take a man. They decide to right when they're about to win. Somebody blows their horns at lunch break, and they're like, "Yep,
it's like there's a lizard union. It's like, I'm sorry, these guys can't work past this point.
Why would you stop when you were doing that shit?
They were winning.
They were winning.
They're crushing, and that's the first attack in the movie. That happens early.
That's the first.
They would have won. And all of a sudden, the queen is like, "Oh!" And they're like, "Well, bitch, what we win?"
She pulled like a sheepdog from Looney Tunes.
They were like, "We got this shit," and then she's like, "No, I need my foot rubbed." You know, oh fucking all right. And you know, that's the thing about it it's a pet peeve of mine when they do that with creatures, where they say, well, you know, if you kill the queen, then you kill the whole hive. And it's like, no, motherfucker, that's a easy way to end the movie.
Even in the Avengers, and even Joss Whedon admitted, he's like, look, I didn't want to spend the time having them go and kill every one of these aliens. I just wanted this shit to be over with.
Stop with that queen shit, that hive mind shit. Where it's like, when you kill the queen, everybody just, fuck.
There's nothing on the planet that works like that.
It'd be different if once you killed the queen, they ran around not knowing what to do, but they have them all just go,
like they're robots.
I don't care if you're in the movie with them playing cards or some shit. You know, just do something.
Also, another thing, it looks cool. It's one of the highlights of the movie. But the Chinese, these warriors, they have a way too elaborate way to try to kill these things that is not efficient at all.
Yeah.
They're doing Cirque du Soleil hanging from trapeze just to go down and stab one or two, and then getting their people dragged off.
Yeah.
You're sitting there watching like, this is just a bait on a fishing hook. And sure enough, there it is.
And I don't know. I'd like to go back to the.
There it is right there. That shit. What? You mean bungee jumping? That's what
with spears. Of these. You want to do all that to kill one or two
with a weapon that you can easily throw.
Hey, I don't know if this I mentioned to you guys, but you have gunpowder.
And they save that for last. They don't want to use that.
Willem Dafoe has it locked up.
Yeah, we don't want to kill them all, right?
And you got gunpowder, but then they're like, but this was cooler. Okay, you want to fucking die? Fine. They even put Matt Damon out on one of those things, and they're like, would you like to try this? Like, fuck no, I ain't trying this shit.
I saw what happened to that chick.
And they know it's stupid because they be pulling up rings after they die, and they look at those rings, and they're like, well, shit, there's another one.
And they're covered in blood.
There's a pile of them.
Like 6 go down, 4 come up, they just throw them down.
It takes 4 people to work the crank and the wires back on the station. It's like each one of those guys could be throwing a spear.
Yep.
It makes no fucking sense, man. I mean, it looks badass.
It does look cool.
You know,
there's another complaint in here I have about this. It looks cool, but the thing with Matt Damon in here, one of the big things they say, and this is the beginning of the movie, people, wow, he killed one alone? How did he do that? I'm like, there's millions of y'all on this wall, and no one is taking one of these things down by themselves, and these dudes got on their Power Ranger armor, and they ain't that special either, apparently.
You know, maybe y'all quit trying to look good and actually try to do some shit.
You were able to kill them without bungee jumping? How?
White savior.
Y'all, you know, this ain't no fucking armor. This is a Chinese acrobatic circus and shit. You know?
Well, I think Martin's like, this is Cirque du Soleil. They're like, fuck it, just put them on the wall to figure it out.
Yeah, y'all motherfuckers training for Las Vegas. Y'all don't want to win.
Die, but we can put on a good show.
It's gonna fly as hell, dog.
Well, here's what will happen. We'll dive down, and when the monsters applaud, then we'll go ahead and attack. Like, sure, man. Fuck. All right. You know, it's a lot of things that go in this movie, but none of these people are characters. I know, Martin, you were saying that Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal, you like what they did in the movie, and I do. I like it too, but
this movie is a big ball of potential, and there's so many elements here that is like, this could work. Somebody else could come and rewrite this and make it work. It would be outrageous, but it could be fun, and you could really like these guys and see what they get into. But it just doesn't.
But I tell you why, because for me, them being buddies, they're movie buddies.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like there's
yeah.
no real chemistry between them. It's like, everything. Every time they make a joke, it doesn't feel like it's a real joke. It's like, well, that's what they do in movies when you're a friend, when you're a buddy.
Well, I mean, that's an old trope. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I get that. Two friends who travel together, two mercenaries who travel together, been through a lot of shit.
I know.
And here they are in another adventure.
I don't mind that. That's cool. But make me think you're really friends. Because they don't seem like friends. Everything that they do, they don't even like each other. Every time they hang out, Matt Damon's like, get the fuck off me.
I was cool with that element because they're both like pseudo mercenaries or traitors. So like anytime one of them had the opportunity to stab the other one in the back, you could like, all right, he might do it. I don't know, but they still stuck around with each other. So they're basically just in the shit together, and that's why they're cool with each other.
They kind of see each other as a means to an end. It's like, do you
Yeah.
need your man? It's like, no, but I need his bow. Let's go get him.
I just wish there was better dialogue between them. The biggest character that was a problem to me in the movie, because he was just, this is what I was laughing when his face came up.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
What are you guys doing here?
Talking about Willem Dafoe.
There he is.
Hey, you want to get out of here? Help me get the gunpowder.
My man.
Yeah, and the only reason he's in the movie is to explain why the Chinese speak English. Because they say, Matt Damon asked the general, who's a woman, he said, how'd you speak English? And he's like, she's saying, I learned from him.
Yeah.
Sir Ballard, I think was his name.
Yeah, but he's
The Green Goblin taught me English. And he's hoarding our gunpowder to make goblin bombs.
You know what I mean? But he had one note in this movie like, hey, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
You gonna help me get out of here?
Yeah.
You wanna get the powder? Huh?
He was like a junkie with black powder.
He got an opium problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad. It's just his character's just not all that good.
It's poorly written.
It's
Yeah.
very poorly written.
Yeah.
It's not much of him there. Although I did like the circumstance that he was like, yeah, I came to get gunpowder too. 25 years ago, and they won't let me leave.
That's why I understood.
I'm doing the best I can.
I didn't. That's why they have a problem because they're like, you gotta get me the fuck out of here. It's like, yeah, I get it, man.
I mean, they got food and everything. Don't get me wrong. But
And he wants to go so bad because when he saw that white dude walking, he's like, oh shit.
yeah, he was.
It was like he was thirsty, man. Ooh.
That's my exit.
My man. Is it me or did somebody hear one of the characters call one of these creatures a bitch?
Oh,
Did you hear that?
yes, Pedro Pascal does when he's doing his he's doing the Toro thing with the red flag.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he says bitch.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute.
I wasn't sure I heard that, but I did hear it.
Yeah, you heard it.
It's like, I like the way we all thought, like, okay, I ain't gonna say shit until somebody else does. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah, no, he said it.
Yeah, because he actually doing it. It was corny because he's, they playing up to his stereotype too. He's a
Yes.
Spaniard, so to fight these creatures, he's
He does bullfighting maneuvers.
He finds something. He pulls his red cape off this Chinese dude, like, hey,
Yeah.
what the fuck? And then
Yeah.
he's like, Toro, el bitch. It's
I
like,
have stereotypes to perpetuate.
and I was like, nah, man, that is lame. That is lame. That is something that y'all should have known better. Why'd you do that?
It's pretty stock dialogue. I did like Pedro Pascal.
Pasquale.
Pasquale.
I liked him a lot more than Matt Damon in this.
I did too.
But the creatures, the very first scene with them, like the first big attack, is probably the best one, which is kind of a letdown. And I remember thinking when it was started, it's like, oh, okay, if they show like a nice variety of creatures and they just keep attacking the wall, this could be kind of fun. But those are the only creatures you get.
Well, you know what? They did have 3 different versions. You had the queen, you had the regular drones,
her royal guard.
But,
Yeah.
but then you had them door bouncers. Yeah, there was one part where one of the little foot soldiers came up and they had one of these motherfuckers with muscles and shit.
Yeah.
They looked at me like, what shoes you wearing? You ain't getting in with them.
But you see all of those things in the first scene, and
Yeah.
those big ones in the Queen, they don't do anything except sit there
And eat.
Yeah. So I let me down in that regard too.
It gets repetitive after a while.
Yeah, it does. It does.
The dragons, they really are. Yeah, like you said, they're a cockroach infestation.
Yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
all right, well, we just got to move from here to here to here to here to here.
What would you give it?
It is a beautiful movie in its own way, and it's entertaining. I guess I give it a rental.
Okay.
I feel like it's a movie like you could watch once and be like, well, all right, but no more.
Yeah. What about you?
Like I said, I love this director, and the moments where it shines through that he was the person that was doing this, it's great.
Yeah, and that's his movie right there, Hero.
Yeah,
I love Hero.
Quentin
Hero,
Tarantino's name at the top.
No, they, ain't let him have shit. Yeah, that's like Quentin Tarantino directed that movie.
I made this.
Yeah, like the moment, like when there is something that is beautiful on screen, even when it's done in a shitty 3D, it is beautiful. There's the part in the trailer where they show the little boy standing when they were in the capital city, and they show all that beautiful decoration. You're like, wow, like why didn't you do more of this? Because you're spending a majority of the time at a gray wall fighting very dull green creatures and a whole bunch of smoke. So
yeah, you talking about that scene right there?
Yeah, that's ornate and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also with the hot air balloons.
Oh yeah. You know what? So what would you give it, man?
Yeah, I agree with Martin, man. Like, and what Gert said, it feels like there was so much potential here, and they just wasted it, and that's something that irks me. I've seen a lot of these movies, especially living in China, and I know when things are being affected by that you say, oh, this is just a Chinese thing and it's not working. Nah, there was just something, and when this movie was being made, that wasn't right, because this isn't just a Chinese thing. They just fucked up. But yeah, there are moments where it's really beautiful, and the action is somewhat decent. So yeah, it's nothing you need to go out and see. It's a rental.
Yeah, Gertz.
Man, I'm having a hard time separating it from the awful 3D we saw it in, because that 3D made it so bad. It made me mad. But just looking at this trailer, I'm like, okay, there's clearly a much better looking movie here, so I don't want to hold that too much against it. There's nothing remarkable about it. It feels kind of like a missed opportunity. So for me, it's a rental. If you want to watch a good movie that takes place in China that involves gunpowder, go see Kung Fu Panda 2. It's a lot better than this is.
There you go, man. You're right. I agree with you. People laughing, but I think you're completely right. And I want you to know that I do like these characters, and the biggest potential that they missed here, I think, is that by not making them better characters, by not focusing on them more, and they could probably still do it. I mean, here in America, I don't know, the movie might do well, but Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal, I could see them going off to another adventure where they end up in another supernatural event. It's
Good God, man! Worst luck ever.
Like it's like they're in China and they're like, they keep running to like weird shit. They're like, fuck, I can't wait to get back to America.
India next, and there's something going on.
Go to like Nepal and fight a Yeti.
Yeah, I could see this being an ongoing series. I mean, I wouldn't mind them seeing them make it something better. Just make them funnier. Because the movie's kind of taking itself just a little bit too seriously, because they got all this, as you say, ornate cinematography, and it is, man. I was talking about the colors and the costumes and everything, but even the locations, man, are very vibrant. They got these really vibrant hues on these mountainscapes and even in the desert. So it just almost makes me say, like, man, why'd you waste all your time on this shit right here? Because I've seen better movies that have done this. Even something like, Aliens is an obvious one. I mean, there's even some parts in the movie where they take direct influences from Aliens. I mean,
Game over, man.
Yeah, like the aliens are. You know how they attacked and shit when they were in the corridors. I mean, there's parts of it like that. Fuck your costume, we see that a lot, but usually is when we have better characters. Aliens is one. We have something like what was that movie? Pitch Dark. Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. A lot of these films, I would even say like Jurassic Park or something like that. The creatures, they're there to be a force of nature. They play the background. The reason why I'm giving this a rental is because of what everybody has said. It's just a well-directed, great-looking film. It just ain't got no plot. That's all. It ain't got no really strong story.
Yeah, that's very true. There was a funny thing in here, and they didn't subtitle it for a reason, because they fucked up a lot of subtitles in this.
Did they?
But there was a moment where a character dies, and they had like this big ornate thing, and they're singing a song, but they don't translate the lyrics at the bottom, because like the person died, you think they're singing about him, but they're just singing like, trust in the wall is good, the wall will provide. I'm listening, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is the worst funeral ever.
Trust in the wall, fuck that dude. Who
died? Who cares?
Yeah, shit.
They spent 60 years working on it.
I mean, I like to see how this does over here, because if China don't don't know if we want this shit either. What my suggestion would be, if you really want to make your money back, I would say just take this and re-edit it. Just take every robot in here, or every creature in here, and just make it a robot. Take it, because that's
in China.
Just go back and just replace all the monsters in here with robots and transforming. That probably would do better.
Giant robots, though.
Well, they can make them.
You saw what they did with these monsters. You want them to do that?
They should have just collected together like Voltron and just make one big lizard bot.
Yeah, they already had Power Rangers in there.
Yeah, why not? Why not? GameFly brings to your house, to you, over 8,000 new releases and classics that are available to rent, or you can buy them for almost every system out there, current and some old systems. Like I said, man, I've been trying to put my GameCube back to work for years. GameFly's giving me an excuse to do that. And you can even try 30 days for free by typing in gameflyoffer.com/double toasted. And when you do that, you'll get 30 days for free of games and movies. Get all those things, all of them at once. Just stay in the house. Don't go nowhere because they're all going to get brought right to your mailbox. You can also bring the element of surprise every month to your home in the form of a Loot Crate mystery box. In that box, I can't tell you what it is, but I can guarantee you it is the best in geek and gaming gear. Some people say it's like having Comic-Con brought right to your home. You don't have to leave the house for nothing. You're getting all kind of stuff. And everybody likes a little surprise every month, just a little bit. And here's another surprise for you. You know, if you go to our link, trylootcrate.com/double toasted, and you type in bridge 10, that's the word bridge and the number 10, you can get 10% off, a 10% discount on your first crate. How's that for a surprise right there? Loot Crate, bring the mystery and the surprise to your mailbox once a month with Loot Crate. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and go over to our home, doubletoasted.com, for more videos and live streams. And remember, stay toasty.